Hello and welcome to my quick little video on how to track your macros. So, why am I doing a video on this and who the hell am I? First of all, my name is Sammy. I am an online coach, physiotherapist, and nutritionist. And I do mainly online coaching where I help my ladies achieve whatever their goals are to transform your body and ultimately build a better relationship with your food and develop more confidence in yourself, whether that is to lose body fat, build muscle, tone up, build muscle, put on weight, lose weight, whatever it is. I'm here to help. Work through injuries, work on your relationship with food, and importantly, learn how to have flexible dieting approach and still achieve your goals, which is what we're going to be targeting right now with on how to track your macros. So, with that being said, let's just jump straight into it because I value your time and appreciate you watching this video. So, first up, I want to talk about what the fuck are macros. So, macros are the foods that we eat, and it's just a way to categorize the foods that we eat into different nutritional values and what we get out of those. So, for example, we need each type of macronutrient to give us different functions in our body. So, for example, protein, they're the building blocks of everything in our body. What bricks are to a house, that's what protein is to our body. It literally builds all the fundamental components of our body and, most importantly, our muscles, which is what we want for that tight and toned effect and to be stronger as well, right? So, protein is super duper essential, and you can't store it the same as we store carbs and fats. So, we need to consume protein consistently spread throughout the day for the best results. Then we've got carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are like what money is to our bank account or petrol is to your car. It's your energy currency of your body. All carbohydrates and proteins and fats get broken down into glucose and are utilized in your cells for energy. Carbohydrates also helps like digestive health because that's where you get fiber from, and so many other things too. Your brain's a big one. And then fats are super important as well for energy. They also get broken down like carbs to glucose for energy for your body. You get more energy per 1 gram of fat. You get double the amount as you do from carbohydrates, just for a bit of comparison. So that's why fats are more energy dense. They're also really important to give cell structure. They're also important for hormone balance and so much more. So protein, carbs, and fats are just the three different main macronutrients that we need to function. We also need micronutrients, which is like our vitamins and our minerals, but we're not touching on that today. So some foods are purely one macronutrient, some are going to be a spread. So for example, like white fish, egg whites, chicken breast, mainly just a protein. Whole eggs, protein and some fat. Peanut butter, mainly a fat with a little bit of protein. Bananas, honey, rice, potato, bread, mainly a carbohydrate. Some grains have a little bit of protein in them. So they can be a combination, or some can be really mainly only one. Oil, 100% fat as an example. So, 5 essentials that you need in order to have success with tracking your macros. Patience. It can seem daunting at first, but trust me, it's well worth the effort. 2, persistence. Like any skill, the more you do it, the better you're going to become at it. So, with patience and persistence, you will get really good at tracking your macros. I've been doing it for years, and so I can almost go a whole day without tracking and still know I'm going to hit my macros because I've been tracking for so damn long. Don't fall for if it fits your macros mindset. You still want to focus on having really good food. So 80% of the time, you still want to eat whole foods and eat really well. 20% of the time, have some fun and make it fit your macros. But just because you can make it work doesn't mean that's what you should just have. Doesn't mean you need to live off pizza and burgers and chips just because you can make it fit your macros. You still want to have whole foods and focus on food quality too. 2 practical things that are going to really help you: having a set of food scales so you can weigh your foods, because it's a lot more accurate to weigh your foods than it is to use cup measurements. And I've just popped some examples on the screen over here that you can see that are examples of different scales that you can get from Kmart, Target, even the shopping center, Amazon, anything like that. And they don't have to be expensive. And the second tool I recommend using is MyFitnessPal. It's just a really good, easy app. It's free. You don't have to have the premium version, and you can track all your food in there. You can save recipes, create recipes, and copy and paste meals over, so you're not having to start from scratch every single time. So when you're building out your meals, the first thing I want you to focus on is creating a balanced plate. So that's like the easiest way to get started with tracking your macros when you have no idea where to start. Start by just building a balanced plate, and then you can tweak the amounts to make it fit your macros, which I'm going to teach you about in just a tick. So we always want to make sure we're having a protein, a carb, a fat source, and some produce like fruit or veg. So you can see some examples on the screen here. We've got chicken, protein, rice, carbs, broccoli, produce, sesame seeds for fats. We've got in this top left corner, we've got bread for carbs, eggs for protein and fat, tomatoes for produce, as an example. Sweet potato, carb, chicken, protein, snow peas and broccoli, produce, and then add some avocado to that, and you've got some fats. So you can see there's some examples of more balanced meals. Now, the beauty of counting macros is that you don't need to just eat the same meal every single day. So you can switch things up. In order to be happy during a diet, it's also important to add variety. So once you learn how to tailor your food to fit your macros, you won't even notice that you're technically following a plan. When you have your calculated macros, then you can choose how to fill them. So here's some examples of carbohydrates and protein and protein and fats on their own, and some condiments that are pretty low in calories. So I would still track them, but they're not really going to fall into any of the categories too much. Okay, so how to nail your macro intake every single day. I've got two techniques for you. One is this is going to be the better option to start with. The second option, as you're more experienced, is something that you can do as well. So I recommend pre-planning your day. You can either pre-plan 100% what you're going to eat that day or just 90% of your day and leave a little room for the unexpected. That's generally what I do when I'm not in my bodybuilding prep. I will just leave a little bit of room for, I feel like this or I feel like that, or I'm a bit hungry here, I'm going to have a little bit extra, stuff like that. But what I recommend that you do is start with your protein. So if you have 120 grams recommended for the day, split that over 4 meals. So maybe you're having 3 meals and snacks. That's how I recommend splitting it over 4 meals. Then you might say 30 grams per meal. So I'm going to have, protein powder with breakfast. I'm going to have chicken at lunch. I'm going to have steak at dinner. I'm going to have a protein yogurt and a protein shake in my snacks. And I'm just going to chuck that all in. I'm just going to start with, 30 grams of protein powder, 100 grams of meat, and just kind of go from there. Next, enter in the carbohydrate sources. So you can split it evenly throughout your meals. It's a lot easier that way, or you can bias it around your training. That's kind of what I do. So for example, I'm going to have, my creamy rice with my breakfast. I'm just going to start by throwing in, when you're doing cereal, like oats and stuff like that, like 30 or 40 grams is a pretty good starting point, and then you'll tweak it from there. Cooked rice, start at like 100 grams, tweak it from there. And potato, start at 200 grams, and just we'll tweak it from there as well. So I might do, creamy rice at breakfast. I might do rice at lunch, potato at dinner, and some rice cakes in my snacks. I'll just throw them in, not worry too much about the quantities yet. I just have the actual foods in there. Then I'm going to jump into my fat sources. So I might have, peanut butter at breakfast, avocado at lunch, almond butter on my sweet potato at dinner is a fan favorite. I don't know if that's weird, but that's what I like to do. So stuff like that. And some dark chocolate, always dark chocolate every day. So I'll pop them all in. Then I'll fill it out with my micronutrients. So, berries, salad, veggies, things like that. Then I'll have a look and see how I've gone. And I'm just going to tweak things around. So maybe I started with 100 grams of meat and it just didn't get me there. So I'm just going to bump it up to 110 and see how I go. That might work. I started with 10 grams of nut butter at all my meals. Not quite enough. I'm going to have 15 grams at breakfast, and maybe I need to add 15 grams somewhere else. So you just adjust the things once you've got them in there. And that's a much easier starting point. Once you do it a few times, you learn what staple meals work best for you and how they fit your macros quite easily. And then you can just rinse and repeat and rotate really easily. So you might go swap rice for pasta, for bread, for wraps, and you can just rotate. In that way, you add variety, but you're not having to completely start from scratch again. So that's the pre-planning method. The other option is you can track as you go. Now, this is a little bit more complicated and you need to have more experience with your nutrition and understanding what macros are in what foods before you can really do this tracking as you go. So, for example, how I would say to do it is, let's say we're going to do, you're going to have 3 meals and 2 snacks, or I call it 4 meals. And I've just given a random amount of macros that you can see here. So you can split up the calories by 4 meals. So you're going to have 500 calories per meal. You're going to have, you want to aim to have 37.5 grams of protein per meal. You can see all of those. So what you would do is, as you're going along tracking for the day, you eat your breakfast, entering what you've had for breakfast, and you want to try and aim to hit those macros that you can see there, the 500 calories, the 37.5 grams of protein, the 50 grams of carbs, and the 16.75 grams of fats. You want to try and aim to hit that. Now, what if breakfast is like a little bit higher in carbs and a bit lower in fats? Then you go, right, well, at lunch I might just lower my carbs a little bit and increase my fats a little bit, and just like roughly try and hit those targets. And in that way, by the end of the day, you're going to hit your targets and not be like, shit, I have so many calories left over, or shit, I have no calories left. So just by having that kind of rough guide for each of your meals as you track as you go can help. But you need to kind of understand how much you can generally have, so then you're still tracking and choosing foods smartly and not leaving yourself with nothing left at the end of the day. But that is another option. So, next question, how much do I need to eat? Well, it depends on a number of things, and I can't just give you one specific number. When I'm doing my nutrition for my girls, it's like, what's your goal? What are you currently doing? What quality of food are you eating? How's your stress, your sleep, your activity levels, and what's your total daily energy expenditure? Your total daily energy expenditure consists of your resting metabolic rate, mostly the thermic effect of physical activity, some, and then very smallly the thermic effect of eating. For example, it costs more calories to burn protein and like digest protein than it does to digest fats and carbs, as an example. So if you had a really high protein diet, that's going to be thermically a little bit more active than if you had a lower protein diet, for example. Now, the resting metabolic rate, that's just like what you need if you just laid in bed all day to be alive. And then the thermic effect of physical activity can potentially change. And mainly that's that non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So the stuff that you're doing outside of the gym, me moving my arms around, walking to the car and back, going grocery shopping, doing the things that are not planned activity, that has the biggest impact on your overall energy needs. The gym, yes, it does, but not as much as your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or your non-exercise needs as well. So stuff that you're doing day to day, that can help increase your total daily energy expenditure needs as well. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, how much do you eat? You want to know what your total daily energy expenditure is. There's calculators to do that. This one down here, the total daily energy expenditure calculator.net, isn't too bad, to be honest. I think that one's pretty good. I use various calculations to do it that so yeah, just keep it there, not overcomplicate it. So you want to then plus or minus your goal. So if you want to gain weight, you need to add calories to that, because the TDE is your maintenance calories. So you need to add calories if you want to gain weight. You need to lose calories if you want to lose weight. Otherwise, no change if you want to maintain. And your maintenance will be a window. It's not one particular number. It's going to be a rough 200 to 500 calorie window, potentially. So it's different every day to day, because if you eat a little bit more, you might fidget a little bit more and then burn a bit more calories that day, and that will bring you back into your maintenance. If you do a little bit less, your appetite might be a bit lower, you'll eat a little bit less. So that's why your maintenance window can shift a little bit, but it's a window, it's not one specific number. So this is then how you determine your macros. I'm not going to actually go through it. You can pause the screen now and have a look at how to do your macros here, as you can see, because I've totally written it all out for you. And if you would like copies of this slideshow as handouts, make sure you jump back into our messages and let me know and ask for the macros ebook, and I will send this to you as slides so that you can keep these numbers forever. All right, quick couple of FAQs to finish it off. Do you have to hit your macros perfectly every day? No. Macros are just there to help you know your location and know how much food you're having each day. So the way that your body responds, you have that knowledge and understanding of what's going on. So macro targets help you stay on track with your goals, but it's the flexibility that is a part of this flexible dieting. So small deviations above and small deviations below inconsistently won't really matter. It's what you're doing consistently day after day after day. But if things aren't progressing the way you want to progress, then yes, you need to tighten it up a little bit. It's the way it is. But the key is just to do the best that you can. Hit your protein, stay within your calorie window. They're the best two options that you can do. And it's a tool to just know your location, keep you accountable, and help keep you somewhat on the right path and have a better understanding of what food you're putting into your body to know why you're feeling energized or not feeling energized, why you're achieving your goals or not, and how you can feel good and recover and perform well in the gym as well. So it's just like the other thing is like tracking, make sure that you eat enough of the good stuff so you feel good as well. It's not just about making sure you're restricting your calories, because that's not what it's about at all. It's about making sure you're actually having enough of the right stuff so you feel good. And if you want to have something and it's not going to fit your macros, then just do it. It's fine. Once every while, it's going to be fine. It's about what you do consistently, day in and day out. What else? Where are we up to? I've lost track of where I was up to. So the other thing is, can I eat whatever I want as long as it fits my macros? Ultimately, calories in versus calories out will determine if you put on weight or lose weight, but the source of those calories do matter. Example, 100 calories of broccoli will have a very different impact on your body compared to 100 calories of lollies due to the different nutritional profiles and the effects of your hunger and satiety. So it's not a free pass to eat whatever the hell you want just to make it fit your macros, but it can be a useful tool to help you be able to go out and have fun and eat good foods and still stay on track to achieve your goals. And that's going to look different for everyone. Just know that it's not going to be perfect for every single person. But it can help you, and it personally has helped me so much develop a healthier relationship with food by understanding what I need to eat to feel good, to fuel my training sessions, to have performance, to make sure I'm eating enough. So for me, tracking has been beneficial. For some, I understand and can respect it doesn't work for everyone, but for me, it's been super beneficial. And for every person that I have worked with, tracking your nutrition has been a game changer for learning how to be able to go out and not feel stressed and not feel anxious because they know it's fine. I can make this work into my plan and I know I'm still fueling my body with good things. And it's reducing the risk of that binge restrict cycle because you know it's okay. This is what I've had and I'm just going to have this to make sure I still feel good, and that just balance and learning how to have balance. It really has helped to have more balance. So what's next? In conclusion of this video, thank you again so much for watching. Basically, this has just been a really quick recap on how to track your macros. If you want these slides, again, come back into the messages and DM me saying macro ebook, and I will send you the ebook so that you can actually have these slides in detail forever. But what else can you get out of this? If you wanted to know more about the one-on-one coaching, and like where I give individual macros, custom meal plans, we do weekly check-ins, we adjust your nutrition along the way. I teach you how to track your macros in more depth, and I support you how to have a more balanced lifestyle, eat out and still enjoy and have fun, but achieve your goals at the same time. Learn how to make your favorite recipes work within your macros and things like that, and help you keep progressing towards your goals. Plus, join this amazing community. This is just some of the ladies here that you can see, and there's so many more. Then message me back on Instagram, Live Strong, and I'll reach out and I can see how I can help directly. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to talk to you very soon.